whether people are aware of it or not, the score really sets the emotional tone for a piece.
Music can now make you see the wheels turn. It can say what words can't say.
It is very magical. And the first time you hear the music played by a live orchestra, it's kind of mind-blowing.
So if you made the scene work and people go, I didn't even know there was music there, but that was a great scene, you go, mission accomplished.
How can music best tell the story in this scene? What point of view is it going to take? How's it actually going to portray the emotions that we need in those scenes?
That's your job, is to serve the film. It could be anything that makes the scene work. As long as the scene works and is fun and is exciting or emotional or scary or whatever it's supposed to be, there are no rules. That's one of the great joys of film composing.
I didn't read the script of Saving Private Ryan. Typically, working with Stephen, if I can, prefer to see the film to get a pristine impression from it without having preconceptions from the script. And I was enormously moved by it. I mean, it's I think one of the, shall I say, great war films that we have. And the music really struck the emotional part of it, and the quieter scenes really. We recorded the score in Boston with the Boston Symphony Orchestra and the Symphony Hall in Boston, which many of the people who might see this will know that that's one of the great music halls in the world. Just anecdotally, Tom Hanks was with us that day and was sitting in the audience in the empty Symphony Hall with Stephen just sitting in the balcony. I called an intermission for the orchestra at one point and asked Tom Hanks if he would read the letter, Lincoln's letter that General Marshall read in film to the orchestra, so that they would have a sense of, they hadn't seen the film, they were playing the music, but they didn't know what was happening on screen.
I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine. I would attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming.
And Tom very sweetly stood up in the balcony, and the acoustic is so great in Symphony Hall, he was able to read the Lincoln letter to the orchestra, and they were all enormously moved by it. It was a lovely experience for them, for the players of the orchestra and the singers in the chorus. The hymn to the Fallen, which is the music that closes the film, I may have perceived it in a way for me that was a little bit unusual in that I think I wrote the hymn as the very last thing. What I have tried to do in many films that I've done is to try to pretty much work the ending out so that I know where the musical material is going to land and develop, and then decompose it and take it apart, so to speak, so that individual strands of a more mature thing can be exposed singly and then collect together in the end of the film. Not in this particular